Adam Osland, this is a Clippers Talk Live, because they all are. This is the 118th show, 118 straight shows we've had for you here on Clippers Talk. Oh my God, this cat is killing me here, driving me crazy. And literally, I mean, look at these marks. Got razor blades for claws. We've made it 118 days straight here on Clippers Talk. We have made it. We have done the impossible. We have not missed a show since October 4th. And all the credit goes to you guys, and especially to Jay, because he was first. Appreciate your guys' support. We're getting set in this episode as the TNT guys are about to release the NBA All-Star Reserves. Let's see who makes it for your Los Angeles Clippers, if anyone. I've been disappointed before. I don't like the All-Star format. I don't like how players don't take it seriously, because here's my problem. I get it's something for the fans. Totally understand that. They should have a vote. But when you are talking about something that is an accolade, an achievement, a reward that affects Hall of Fame status, and All-Star games do, I think people should take it a little bit more seriously. That's where I'm coming from. Hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Talk, and this is 118 straight days of Clippers Talk. We're 7 days a week here. If you're new to the show, at least in season, I'm committed to that. I'm committed to you guys, regardless if you get mad at me or not. And I know I shouldn't take it personally. When one guy, Axe C, said that I should do the show a different way, you know, I get it. Everybody has their own way of wanting to do the show. I have to do it the way I feel it's most productive. So that's what we're doing. We're hosting the All-Star Game next year at Intuit Dome. The reserves are about to be announced on TNT. I got it up in the corner, and as they are announced, we'll let you know who in fact made it. You got guys like Kyrie Irving, Anthony Edwards, Victor Wembanyama, Anthony Davis, Domantas Sabonis, Jalen Williams, Jaren Jackson Jr. in the mix. Alperen Şengün, Norman Powell, Big Zoo, James Harden. Who else am I missing? I mean, those are the main names out there. Now, there already might be a reserve situation going on because Anthony Davis is hurt right now, which could open things up. This cat. Oh my God. Tuca, chill. This cat has no chill. I need a break during the All-Star break. Maybe you do. I'm going to be doing shows, God willing. So I'm listening in the background a little bit. I'll turn it up slightly on TNT. They're delivering the briefcase right now for the All-Star reserves, guys. This is exciting. I'm doing this from home because it's still early enough where I don't think the neighbors will get upset with me. And I have a microphone that is so incredibly hot, so hot right now, that I can talk quietly and you can still hear me. Charles Barkley saying he's so excited for some of these guys. If we don't get an All-Star, it'll be more fuel. Keep flying under the radar? Maybe, but Norman Powell, James Harden, Visa Zubas, they're all deserving. And this stuff matters. When you look back at a career, All-Star games are one of the things you run down. I think All-NBA teams are more important, but it's not nothing. So Ernie has the cards. Can you guys hear TNT? I can. They're probably going to stretch this out for a half hour. So first they're doing the Eastern Conference, voted on by the coaches. Jaylen Brown gets in the East. No surprise there. Who deserves it most? This is a good question from Dog 8. Honestly, I think James Harden deserves it slightly more than Norman Powell because he's running the show. He's the engine. He's the catalyst. But my heart would like Norman Powell to get it because he's never been an all-star before, and this has always been a goal. My head says James Harden deserves it more. But Norman Powell, I'd be so happy for him. Pascal Siakam made it. All right. They're fifth right now in the Eastern Conference. They've won 8 of their last 10 games. I talked about this a little bit earlier on Rogan and Rodney. I'm going on the Odd Couple on Fox Sports Radio in a little bit, around 4:30. But I'm wondering, are they really going to give up Miles Turner when they're in the 5th spot in the East to the Lakers and they've won 8 of their last 10 games? Why would they do that? I guess if they give them both first-round picks, the Lakers, that might force their hand. But the Pacers guys were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They probably got lucky, yes. The Knicks were banged up. But I don't think they want to indicate to their fans they're having a sell-off by getting rid of Miles Turner. So, third guy here. From the Cleveland Cavaliers, Darius Garland gets in. I like that. He's had a great year. Cavs have had a great year. I got you guys always. The dedication is real. Clipper Nation deserves it. I'll give you my all. Darius Garland getting in is pretty cool. Deserving. I think the coaches have done pretty well so far. I feel decent about the Clippers' chances of getting somebody in. So, regarding the question of Norm or James Harden, Cade Cunningham got in. He's been doing the rounds, campaigning. They're playing better. He's putting up big numbers. Okay. Polo Dolo said, personally, I believe it should be Harden due to overall impact. I agree. In a couple of games without James Harden, Norman Powell has struggled. He's more dependent on James Harden guys, Norman Powell, than James Harden is dependent on him. I think that kind of illustrates the point, puts the focus where it should be. So we got Cade Cunningham, Pascal Siakam, Jaylen Brown, Darius Garland. Evan Mobley got in too for the Cavs. Hey, when you're on pace to win 70 games, at least they were, I'm fine with it. Zoom-in highlight reel will get the nod. Cade has been good. I think it's just a nice story in Detroit, and they have, a legacy there with the Pistons. All right, here we go. Dame Dollar gets in. Okay. He is having a better season this year than last year with the Bucks, as predicted. Of course, the Clippers just beat him and Giannis, heading to a dome, one of the best ones of the season. I don't hate that. One more here. This will make it 12 guys in the East. Tyler Hero. I'm not hating on this. I'm not hating on Tyler Hero. He's been their engine this year. It ain't Jimmy. It ain't Bam. It's Tyler Hero. I think that's a solid pick. I think they did pretty well in the Eastern Conference. We're worried about the West and getting the Clipper in. And here's Shadow. Apparently going to sit on my lap here. Who do you guys got as the biggest snubs in the East? And there always are. There are too many good players. There's too many cases for too many guys. It's a very difficult process, especially when you have fans voting in Yao Ming and Zaza Pachulia. Some players writing in some wild names sometimes. Trey didn't make it. They're talking about Trey. They're like, how many games are they above 500 though? Are they even above 500 at this point? I think that has to be factored in. It doesn't mean it's all his fault, but Atlanta's 22-25. Detroit's 23-24. So Cade gets in. They're one game under 500. Miami, 23-23. Tyler gets in. I'm fine with that.
Those are three names that definitely deserve to be on the team, but this way cookie crumbles sometimes.
What's Shaq gonna do is Coco. There's always guys that get left out. Is he a star? Yeah. But they're not winning. I think he's more name recognition, and he's good. Don't get me wrong. His assists are, I think, at an all-time high. I think he's leading the league in assists right now, Trae Young. But they're 3 games under 500. And they might be making some moves and selling off. 3-7 their last 10. So I think some of this is recency bias. Like you get Pascal Siakam getting in. They're hot. Detroit, they're 4-6 their last 10. Cade has been putting his name out there. Hey, I hope it lights a fire under Trey. I love watching him. He's fun. I do worry about having a guy that small on the floor being picked on. You know, when you're talking about overall ceiling with a guy like that. Yeah, I just went to commercial break too. J-Dog said Clips getting 2 All-Stars. Who do you got? No, Dunn. I mentioned this at the start of the season. I don't think he'll meet the requirements either. But it doesn't mean he's not one of the best when he is available and on the court. He is. He's that good. Tuca. I got Shadow and Tuca here, by the way. Tuca named after Carolina Panther great Bianca Patuca. Shadow because she's gray and follows me around. I got Shadow a friend in Tuca a couple days ago. They're actually getting along pretty decently. Get out of the way. I need the FaceTime. Tuca, though, needs to be spayed. You know how that goes. They're really wild. The hormones are all over the place. Oh, my God. Tuca, no. You see this? I'm getting sliced and diced. Rolling ball of butcher knives over here. One of these cats are going to accidentally end the stream. Şengün, I was checking some people's writers and how they would vote. I was checking some guys on NBA.com, and a couple of them have Şengün getting in. The case is, can you make a better case for Ivica Zubac than Şengün? I think you can. I really think you can. In fact, when we went through the list, myself and Lucas Hand, don't call him Han, from 213 Hoops, we had Ivica Zubac ahead of Şengün this season. The numbers are comparable, But I would say Ivica Zubac is much more important to the Clippers' defensive rating than Şengün is to Houston's defensive rating. That's my point. But I think Şengün has more brand recognition, Baby Joker, all that stuff. And I think he would get the nod over Ivica Zubac, even though I think you can easily make the argument that Ivica Zubac has been better than Şengün. Tell me who's the better defender. There is a wider margin between Ivica Zubac on defense and Şengün on defense than there is between their offense, with Şengün getting the nod there. I mean, so Zoo has had basically 4 2020 games against Miami, against the Lakers with AD, against Memphis in Triple J, and who else am I missing? What's the other 2020 game where Big Zoo has been bodying people? Because it's been happening a lot. He's like that. This is not about, and if you follow me at Follow Adam A, this is not about Ivica Zubac turning into a different player this summer. I keep seeing people say, like, yeah, he's put in the work. F that. It's about the opportunity he's gotten. And this is a great point from Kaylee. Kaylee's always bringing it here. Zoo even improved his free throws. He's about 79% in January. Abson said 86% last 10 games. He's made some big ones too. Like, I don't think it's biased to say Ivica Zubac has been better overall on both ends than Şengün. All right, here we go. Western Conference. Here we go, guys. Ernie's passing them out. This is exciting. Let's go here. If you guys are ahead of me, don't blow it for the people in the chat. This is your Clippers talk. All-Star Reserve release show. I think Chuck's going to open the first ballot. First envelope. No, it's Shaq. Anthony Edwards. I mean, Anthony Edwards makes sense, even though they are having a down year. They're 26 and 21 still. He has the monster numbers. He is the number one on their team by far. Totally good with that. Fine with Ant. No problem. What do we got? What do we got? K. Smith. Anthony Davis. Okay. AD could end up not being able to play because he has this abdominal injury. That's where an injured reserve guy could come in, and the Clippers or Zoo could get in that way. AD's had a big year. They're 6 points better per 100 possessions, the Lakers, with him on the floor. They're in trouble without him. So we got 5 more here. James Harden. James Harden is in. All right, so that's probably going to be their lone representative. James Harden is in. We'll take it. Like I said, I would give it to him over Norman Powell, even though my heart would love for Norman Powell to get in. But that's probably all the Clippers are getting. I'd be surprised. He has been the driving force for this team being 27 and 20. Awesome. Congrats, James Harden. Well deserved. Love this representation for the Clippers. All right. Still 4 more. We ain't done yet. Triple J gets in. Triple J is in. I'm fine with that. Kaylee's still rooting for the bow-legged sniper. Why not the Clippers said, I think Norm still may get in. It's our year. I know. This is probably Norm's only chance to be an all-star. We got 3 left. Come on. There's Kenny. Şengün got in. I knew it. Zoo's not getting in. I'm telling you guys, Ivica Zubac is better than Şengün this season. It's close, but I'm taking Zoo. He means more to the Clippers defense than Şengün means to the Houston Rockets defense. Easily. Someone's late. Did reserves get announced? It's happening right now. We got 2 more. Şengün has brand and name recognition. This is what I hate, though. It goes back from seasons prior. It's like it's the 2025 All-Star game. It should be about this season, nothing else. Jalen Williams gets in. J-Dub. I'm good with that. No complaints there. He's been great. They're by far the best team in the Western Conference. He's putting up big numbers. He's at 21 per game. Shooting 48%, 35% from 3. Defense is good. I think when you look at their record, it's fair. Last one, guys. Come on, Norm. 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 It's going to be Kyrie. I know it. No, it's Wemby. What am I thinking? Yep, it's Wemby. Well, the Clippers get James Harden in, guys. Fortunately, not to be for Norman Powell. But if Anthony Davis is not able to go, now they will replace him with a front court guys, so Norm wouldn't get in, but Ivica Zubac might still be in the mix. AD is an abdominal injury. He's being reevaluated in about 6 days now. And reevaluated doesn't mean back, as we know. So things could change. They could. Do not give up hope. I think Big Zoo could still get in. Who in the front court would get it over him? Oh, I guess Domantas Sabonis. It'd be between him and Ivica Zubac for an injury reserve for Anthony Davis. And people would probably give it to Domantas. Damn it.
Yeah, but I'm saying that team has shocked everybody. Everybody thought the Clippers.
Not everybody.
Kawhi's been out basically all year. I would love to see him get rewarded. That's it. But I feel bad. But I love Norman Powell. But maybe he'll get a break because of the Anthony Davis situation. You never know. I mean, 10th season.
But wouldn't they replace him with a front court guy?
Those years he was coming off the bench. This first time that he's had a chance to start every game he's played for a team. I would painfully say I would have to agree with Chuck. He's playing excellent basketball, and guys like that should be rewarded. And whether he makes it out, he's definitely an all-star in my eyes. But playing great basketball.
Hey, don't get me wrong.
James Harden. And again, every year we have this discussion: who should have made it, who doesn't make it. But these guys just will continue to do well for the team. But Norman Powell definitely should be on this list.
Just another chip on his shoulder.
That I'm surprised that we didn't hear Domantas Sabonis. Oh yeah,
I just mentioned him.
I think they started so slow, Ernie. That might have hurt his chance.
That's the thing. If Anthony Davis isn't able to go, it'll probably be Domantas. He's been an all-star reserve before. So even if they want a front court guy, I think it has to be. Not sure the format at this point. They've changed it so many times. It's front court, back court, right? Yeah, they could at least start talking about most improved player Norman Powell, but it's not most improved. Like, technically, he or Zubac, this is not about most improved. This is about biggest opportunity. The abdominal thing is a problem. I would guess Anthony Davis is going to miss more. Like, yeah, Chuck's saying 2 weeks. Who knows? But there's a real chance somebody is going to be stepping in for him at the All-Star game. Ray said Western Conference Finals MVP, Norman Powell, book it. Isn't that the Magic Johnson Award now? All right, guys, I got to go throw some laundry in. I'll be right back here in 2 minutes. You can listen to him.
James Harden, Alperen Şengün, and Victor Wembanyama. There are your Western Conference reserves as selected by the coaches in the West. Well done, coaches. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, tough. Some tough choices to make there. There's Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley. And there's your countdown clock. It's brought to you by Dash Pass. You're more to all things basketball. And you see we're 12 and a half minutes away. And you wonder what is going through. I'm going to send a message tonight. I'm playing against two All-Stars. He played against two All-Stars tonight. Yeah, I'm talking about Jimmy in the backcourt. I'm like, okay, I didn't make it. I'm going to send y'all a little message tonight.
Everybody's health begins in their cells, the building blocks of everything else. Each of your cells needs omega-3s to function, which means omega-3s are vital to the health of your heart, brain, eyes, skin, joints, and so much more. But more than 80% of us don't get nearly enough omega-3s from food. That's why omega-3s from fish oil are so beneficial. Nordic Naturals, #1 in the U.S.
Hey neighbor, you switched to T-Mobile home internet yet? Trim your hedge. It's $35 a month with no price hikes. It's on T-Mobile's wireless 5G network. So all you gotta do is plug in one cord. T-Mobile 5G. Just $35 a month.
All right, guys. Sorry, I'm back. So I got a couple arguments to make here. One for Ivica Zubac over Şengün, and one for Norman Powell over J-Dub. That's where I'm going with this. Those are the guys. I actually think, of course, he got voted in by the fans, and he's a starter, and he's a legacy guy. I think you can make an argument Norman Powell's had a better season than Steph Curry. I think that's real. Yeah, sorry for putting you guys on commercial break. Hey, Yanni Sears, how about that Clippers offense with Kawhi Leonard? Doesn't look like they're having to worry about fitting him in, huh? Their starters' offensive rating is 135. Zoo is better than Şengün this season. He is. He is more impactful for the Clippers than Şengün is for the Houston Rockets. Ivica Zubac, without him, guys, I don't know where they would be defensively. I'm pretty sure without Şengün, the Rockets would still be really good defensively. He's not the one anchoring that. Ivica Zubac, he most definitely is for this Clippers team. With him on the court, they have an offensive rating of 105.7. Absolutely elite with Ivica Zubac on the floor. With him on the floor offensively, they have an offensive rating of 113, as opposed to with him off the floor, it's 104.8. Let me look at, I want to see the on-off numbers for the Houston Rockets and see how much better they are with Şengün on and off the floor. So, Alperen Şengün, on the floor, they have an offensive rating of 107.1. Sure, that's good. Guess what? They're better with him off the floor. It's 104.8. They're better offensively with him, 115 to 108, but they are better without him defensively. That's the argument. I'm sorry. Ivica Zubac has been better than Alperen Şengün this season. I said before it went down, I thought Şengün would get the nod over him, but Ivica Zubac has been better when you account for both ends of the floor. Sabonis, I mean, I can tell you why it makes sense. The Houston Rockets have the second best record in the West. But They're literally worse defensively with Şengün on the floor. Come on. As for Norman Powell versus J-Dub, Norman Powell's numbers are better. Now, Norman Powell versus Jalen Williams, some of it's misleading because they probably had a lot of blowouts. The Oklahoma City Thunder. But if I go, let's see here, and just look up shooting percentage, field goal percentage, points per game, Norman Powell has been better. But the OKC Thunder, they're the number 1 seed in the West. That's also part of the argument for Şengün. They're number 2. But I'm sorry, if they're literally better with the on-off splits with him off the court, I think that's a pretty strong argument for Ivica Zubac being ahead of Şengün. It might be a tougher case to make for Norman Powell. J-Dub is getting 21 points per game. He's shooting 48% from the field, 34.7% from 3. Norman Powell, well, he's more efficient than that. Let me tell you, I think you guys know this. Storming Norman Powell, he's getting 24 points per game, so 3 more. He's shooting about 2% better from the field, and he's shooting 8% better from 3 than J-Dub. But then you factor in team record, the OKC Thunder, best in the league, best in the West. Neither of these are a surprise when you just go off of name and recognition there. But I guess you can say, yeah, when's Luka Doncic coming back? Because that's another spot. Does anybody have a timeline on Luka Doncic? That's a way for Norman Powell to get back in. How long is Luka supposed to be out? So I'm seeing one report that's saying he could be back before the All-Star break. Yeah, it seems like that's a real possibility that he could be back before the All-Star break and therefore is playing. Anthony Davis, probably a better chance that he's not back. It's the abdominal, that can be tricky. I remember Bobby Jackson had that in 2003, I think, with the Kings. Dog 8 said, if Şengün is Baby Joker, what is our branding nickname for Zoo? Zupac. All eyes on Zoo. Clearly not enough on them. Or not enough eyes on him for coaches to realize he's been better than Şengün. But I don't know. I think that's an easy one for me. It's close, but that's an easy one for me. Now that I've confirmed it with the on-off numbers, that Şengün actually makes them worse defensively, Houston, I don't know about that one, Chief. I've been saying for years that Sabonis has major flaws to his game that hold you back, that hold down your ceiling. Ray said, I don't like injuries, so I hope that every player that is currently injured takes their time to heal up. I think you're saying you want that Luka spot to be open for Norm and the AD spot to be open for Ivica Zubac. F said, I know this isn't super surprising, but I'm so disappointed. Hey, look, I think they got it right, James Harden over Norman Powell. I don't think that's just about brand. James Harden is less dependent on Norman Powell for success than Norman Powell is with him. James Harden is the system. It all starts with him. Norm has been better with creating off the dribble, especially as of late, but he's not dishing. He's not doing what James Harden is, guys. You have to understand. The bus drivers from the passengers. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Norm, but he's not a system. He's not running the offense. They're not basing it around them. He is an awesome finisher in this league. Play finisher. Catch and shoot guy. Driving closeouts. And he's a bad boy. But given the choice between him and James Harden, it should be James Harden. Narabot said, so you think the Rockets as a second seed in the West deserve no All-Stars? I mean, I think it would be telling about their team. That's why I'm saying I'm less concerned about them at a 7-game series. I don't think they have the top-end talent. It's not that I have anything against the Rockets. It's just you're creating a narrative there. I'm just saying objectively, who's better between Ivica Zubac and Şengün this season? It's not about, the Rockets need to get an all-star representative. That's not what it should be about because they're number 2 seed. If they have a bunch of guys who are really good, but nobody's standing out, then maybe it just works out that they don't have an all-star. Ivica Zubac has been better. Like there are so many guys that are part of the reason. Like Amen Thompson's better than Şengün. Now that he's gotten more minutes, he's better. He's a better player. They would trade Şengün before they trade Amen Thompson. Believe that. He just hasn't played as many minutes. He hasn't been able to showcase it as much, but I've seen enough now to say that. Şengün, sure, he's near the front of the bus. He ain't driving it. Like, I don't know. They have like, when you're doing driver's ed and stuff and you get into one of those cars that have a steering wheel on both sides. It's like that. They got multiple out there. It's no disrespect to Şengün. But when you account for defense, the reason they're good defensively is not about him. He's getting 19 and 10 this season, 49% shooting. And 5 assists per game is not nothing. I'll say that's an argument in his favor. I'm conceding he's been slightly better than Ivica Zubac offensively. But I think the difference in defense is greater than the difference between them two on offense. I mean, Zoo's getting 15 and 13. Şengün's passing, though, isn't nothing. But I would still give the nod to Ivica Zubac. Yeah, Ime is the bus driver. But when you ask the question that way, Narabot, that's what's happening. You're saying, so Houston's the number 2 seed. Shouldn't they have an all-star? That's not how you should vote. They just have to have one because they're a number 2 seed. If they have a bunch of guys that are all pretty good, but not playing, standout all-star level, then it could go to somebody else. All these things are debatable. They're close votes. Triple J over Ja, I'm with that this season, honestly. And Ja, I guess, could be the other name that could get in. Yeah, Zoo's field goal percentage is better. I mean, he's a more punishing traditional center. You can definitely make the argument Şengün is more of a hub on offense than Ivica Zubac. But I think playing through Zoo is a real thing for this team. Like, Amen Thompson is their best player, and he wasn't playing heavier minutes, and they hadn't figured out the pecking order until recently because of the injury to Jabari Smith Jr. But he's their best player. I bet Michael Malone voted for Norm. He just kicked our ass tonight. It's not BS. Like, you have to tell me who's out for Norm to get in. You have to make that case, right? You can't just Say, well, Norm should be an all-star. Okay, so who are you taking out? Who are you taking out? I think J-Dub, because he's on the number one team in the West by a lot, and his numbers are very solid, gets it. But I'm fine with – I think Norm and Zoo have been pivotal for the Clippers. Well, there is a Mavs selected. Luka Doncic since starting lineup, Steve. F said, wonder if Norm still says yes to three-point contest. If it's offered, he should. Because that can build momentum. Honestly, if he was in the three-point contest last year, which is BS that he didn't get in while being a top three-point shooter in the league, that was horrific. Freaking travesty. That's a joke to me. That is just absolute casual stuff by the NBA not having him in the three-point contest. But if he was in the three-point contest last season, I bet you Norm would have a much better chance of being an all-star this year because it builds like that, even though it shouldn't. Even though it should be about who are the best players in the 2024-2025 season, that's how voting should go. It never does. People put in prior results, career history, it's politics. It's not right, but it is a difficult thing. There's too many good players. Someone else saying, where is Zoo? I mean, Zoo is the least likely of the three from the Clippers to get in. Steve said, I don't think Luka – is Luka not in the starting lineup? Am I wrong on that? I'll take the L. I think you're right because he's missed so many games. You might be right. You know what? I think my guy Jovan Buha voted for Luka, but others didn't because – and that's why I got stuck in my head thinking he was going to be in the starting lineup. That and just because it's a fan vote thing. Steve, I apologize. You were right. I was wrong. You're very good looking. I'm me. I forget the Happy Gilmore line. Rip Carl Weathers. All right. I got to go in like 10. I'm supposed to go on with the Odd Couple on Fox Sports Radio in a little bit. Because they had a guest already bail on them today, so they wanted to confirm I'm not. Harden would give his selection to Powell. Popularity contest. And the suck-ups always are the picks. Players don't even want to play the format. Should acknowledge the best 20 in each conference. What's the best 24? And no, James Harden is more worthy of an all-star selection this season than Norman Powell. I've already outlined the reasons why. You can rewind it if you just came in late. He is. He is the catalyst. He is their offense. He is the system. Norman Powell is much more dependent on James Harden than Harden is of Norman Powell. It's that simple. Doesn't mean Norman Powell's not having a great year that's all-star worthy. He is. Yeah, Norman Powell has been devastating in fourth quarters going back to last season. Didn't he shoot over 50% actually in fourth quarters from three last year? He's doing it again. There just hasn't been a big enough spotlight on him. There's too many casuals, and this is how it goes. This is why we got to rep our guys, make sure everybody knows about them. You know, that's part of our job, fans of this team. Let people know just how good they've been. Norm is also top 5 in transition points per possession. He and Amir Coffey. Yeah, the Powell Rangers thing. You got to get that to catch on more. All that stuff helps. It shouldn't take this stuff to do it, but that's what it is. It's politics, it's popularity contest, and Norm hasn't been a big enough name. And the problem is, if he was younger in a different situation, you know, him being snubbed this year, however you view it, would give him momentum for next season. But the truth is, this probably is going to be Norman Powell's best shot ever to make an all-star team. Because if Kawhi's healthier next season, Norm's not putting up these numbers. He's clearly the third option or the second. And I mean, maybe if Harden does more facilitating, or who knows, Harden has a player option for next season. But it's just unlikely. This probably was Norman Powell's best shot. Yeah, the K-pop stuff, endorsing guys, like, I get it. It's a game for the fans, but that stuff just shouldn't factor in my opinion. I don't know. I'm not saying the fans' vote shouldn't, but some of the Zaza and Yao Ming still getting vote stuff is just crazy. What are we doing? Oh, Norm will use this snub as fuel, no doubt. Norm will do the right thing. This will only have that fire in his belly with more kindling and lighter fluid on it. We did get James Harden in. That's not nothing. This is a good question from Dog8. Do they post the full voting results from coaches? Yeah, I'd love to know. Does anybody have that? I want to check Law Murray's Twitter because he's the type of guy that would have that. Retweet it. Law says the two players that he's most surprised didn't make it, John Morant and Kyrie Irving. So there's two more guys Norman to be fighting with, even if there's injuries. James Harden at 35 is the oldest Clipper ever selected. Yeah, I don't know if we'll find out transparency with the coaches' vote. I'm guessing we will. Norm going for 50-plus against Charlotte. Others pointing out if Paul George got in and Norm didn't, since it seems like every good game Paul George has, Norm has a better game. Uses that as added motivation this season. Addition by subtraction. Yeah, the Ja thing. But the name and them being high up in the Western Conference, I thought might do something for him. Honestly. All right, guys. I got to get going here. If you want to check out Fox Sports Radio, I'm going to be on with the Odd Couple, Kelvin Washington and Rob Parker, in just about 10 minutes here. Hopefully they ask me some Clippers questions. I kind of got some indirectly from Fred Rogan earlier. I'll try to post that up on the YouTube side. Bonesaw said the 40-point game from James sealed it against Milwaukee. That was big time. I mean, Norm had 33. 14 in the fourth. Not enough roster spots is what it comes down to. It's a numbers crunch to make the All-Star game. It's all right. We'll try to get Norm most improved player, even though I don't think he's changed much. It's just bigger opportunity, addition by subtraction. He and Zoo can fight over that. I say we still get Norm in the three-point contest. He should be in it. I would love to see that. And that's one way to get people to pay attention to just how good you've been this season, because Clippers had three guys that were definitely worthy. They got one in. We'll take it. Kaylee said if it's truly addition by subtraction, Norm can really only be an all-star as a sub. Somebody out, he gets added. Oh, I've been talking about Ivica Zubac. Do I need to bring up some of my tweets from 2021 saying he's the long-lost Gasol brother? Yeah, the chance of them getting two guys, as soon as I saw James Harden get picked here, I was kind of resigned to the fate of just having one guy. I mean, we're glad James Harden's in. He'd been away from the All-Star game for 2 seasons. And he is the biggest reason, without a doubt, the Clippers are 27-20. Ivica Zubac, though, is right there. It's right there. All right, my friends. Appreciate you guys. Oh, you want me to let everybody know on the radio show about it? Okay. You can check me out on the Odd Couple on Fox Sports Radio in just a little bit. Before we get out of here, I do want to remind you that today's episode of Clippers Talk is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. It is the easiest way to play fantasy sports, and of course, it's available in over 30 states. All you got to do is pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats or least favorite player stats if you want to hate, and you can win up to 100 times your money. Make picks, win money. I got a free promo code for you guys. This will give new users a free pick and up to $1,000 in bonus cash. The promo code is, appropriately so, LAC. And you can find it and the referral link in the description below this very episode. Promo code LAC, and you can find it and the referral link in the description below in this very episode. Then you just go to Underdog Fantasy. You pick higher or lower on some stats as we got some NBA games going on tonight. So once again, we're brought to you by Underdog Fantasy here on Clippers Talk. We've made it 118 straight days here on the show. All right. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Clippers in Charlotte. Pregame starting at 3. I'm at a Mosland. At least we got James Harden into the All-Star game. Let's keep fighting for Norman Powell and Ivica Zubac to get more attention their way. They deserve it. They have been that good this season. Talk to you guys tomorrow.